Atheism is Christianity in its extreme form. Now let's unpack that. We often view these two, atheism and Christianity, as opposing forces, but instead think of them as two sides of the same coin. Both display a certain rigidity in thought, an unwavering certainty in their beliefs. Consider the metaphor of a senile father and his rebellious child. Christianity, the senile father, has been around for millennia, set in its ways, certain of its truth. Enter atheism, the rebellious child, challenging the father's beliefs yet mirroring his rigid thinking. Atheism is not a rejection of Christianity, but an extension of it. It's the rebellious child pushing the father's beliefs to their logical extreme. You see, the clash between Christianity and atheism is not a battle of divergent beliefs, but a family feud. It's a clash of egos, a struggle for dominance between an aged patriarch and his defiant offspring. The clash between Christianity and atheism is a clash of egos, not of beliefs. Both Christianity and atheism share a tradition of demonization. In Christianity, we see a history of painting non-Christian beliefs as malevolent or misguided. Atheism, on the other hand, takes a more radical approach. It seeks to assassinate the concept of God altogether. The atheist narrative is a continuation of the Christian story. It carries on the tradition of killing and demonizing gods. But atheism goes one step further. It portrays the remaining God as sadistic, ultimately treating the divine as if it were non-existent. This progression isn't a deviation from Christian beliefs. It's an amplification. Atheism takes the Christian narrative and pushes it to its logical conclusion. It doesn't just demonize the divine, it seeks to erase it. This is not a rejection of the Father's teachings, but rather a rebellious child taking these teachings to their extreme. And so we see that atheism is the rebellious child that takes its Father's teachings to the extreme. Christianity and atheism both bear the mark of passive aggression. A curious observation, isn't it? Let's delve into it. In the realm of Christianity, acceptance of non-believers often comes with a caveat. They must renounce their beliefs, their gods, their truths. It's a sort of, sure, you're welcome in our fold, but only if you shed your old skin. On the other side of the spectrum, we have atheism. It's a philosophy that proudly professes respect for all religions. But scratch beneath the surface, and you might find an undercurrent of condescension, a subtle, often unacknowledged tendency to treat believers as less enlightened, less evolved, less rational. This tug of war, this push and pull dynamic, it's textbook passive aggression, a dance of dominance and subjugation, veiled in a cloak of acceptance and respect. So you see, despite their differences, Christianity and atheism share more than they'd like to admit. The passive-aggressive spirit is a shared characteristic of both Christianity and atheism. Both fundamentalist Christians and atheists exhibit a certainty in owning the truth. This is a bold statement, yet it is one that reflects the reality of our world. Christians, with their faith anchored in the teachings of the Bible, and atheists, armed with science and reason, both claim to hold the ultimate truth. This certainty, however, often blinds them to the possibility of imperfections in their doctrines. Like stubborn generals in a war of ideologies, they are determined to impose their beliefs on the world. They wield the weapons of slander and gossip, launching them at those who dare to question their doctrines. The Christian may label the skeptic as a heretic, while the atheist might dismiss the believer as deluded. It's a fascinating spectacle, this battle of certainties. Yet it's also a reminder of the inherent human tendency to claim absolute knowledge, to assert dominance over the unknown. The certainty in truth is a common thread binding Christianity and atheism. Christianity and atheism reduce life to matters of church, biblical doctrine, or science. The world becomes a binary space, a litmus test of beliefs, where people are either with us or against us. This mindset fosters reductionistic madness, a delusion that complex human experiences, emotions, and instincts can be simplified to mere equations or ancient scripts. It champions the exaltation of weakness, perversion, and repression, pushing us to deny our natural instincts, to suppress our intuition. It's an ideological straitjacket, binding the human spirit, stripping away our freedom to explore, to question, to wonder. This isn't just a suppression of individuality, it's a suppression of humanity itself. It's a chilling vision, where humans are converted into compliant machines, where diversity of thought is the ultimate sin. This is the ultimate castration of mankind. Subscribe now to learn more about this and other fascinating topics.